There are billions of people around the world living differently with unique characteristics that can or cannot be seen. Among these billions of people, approximately 15% had a disability. And the worst disability is the inability to understand individual differences that provokes persons with disability to create their own world away from other people who are into discrimination and humiliation and lock themselves to what they know as their own comfort zone. Talking about disability, little do you know that it has three categories, namely the intellectual disability, the learning disability, and autism. Now, get your paper and pen ready. Gear yourself up and let us know more about these three categories and know how we will be able to create a new world where inclusion and acceptance will prevail to the entire world.
Intellectual disability is characterized by limitations in intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior. Intellectual functioning refers to general capacity such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, and coexist with strengths. One way to measure this is through an IQ test, in which a child obtained a score of around 70 or as high as 75 indicates intellectual limitation. Meanwhile, adaptive behavior is a collection of conceptual, social, and practical skills that are learned and performed by pupils in their everyday lives. Intellectual disability may not be apparent when working with individuals having this disability. Consider how the information on a daily basis is challenging to comprehend for some pupils when it is only spoken once. So as a teacher, be sure to provide directions in alternate formats that may be more helpful. Similarly, make sure that the pupils understand the task given to them. When learning a new task, be sure to provide sufficient time to learn that new task, so multiple repetitions may be required. Therefore, as a teacher, let us treat them like the way they are being treated and see them as special humans.
All children encounter challenges as they start learning, especially in a classroom setting. However, there are children who have learning disabilities, and this refers to students who have inabilities to do certain academic skills such as reading, listening, speaking, doing written expression, and mathematics. Students who are learning disabled can be classified as dyscalculia, dysgraphia, and dyslexia. Also, others may think that learning disability is just an excuse for lazy people, but the fact is this is caused by neurological impairments and not by character flaws. It is an exhausting day for a person with learning disability to process information compared to bright kids, which require so much motivation to learn. Another thing is, others believe that learning disabilities only affect children and adults grow out of disorders. But the truth is, the effects of learning disabilities may continue throughout lifespan and may intensify or change over time.
For additional fact, learning disability is not solely academic in nature, but it also affects other aspects of a person's life. For educators who have this kind of learners, cognitive training is recommended for a person with learning disabilities can do self-instruction, self-monitoring, scaffolding instruction, and reciprocal teaching. With recognition of learners' difficulties, appropriate help, and the development of interests and talents, children with learning disabilities can learn to succeed both in school and beyond.
When we hear the word autism, many of us seems to have so many perceptions about this word that lead us to have a misconception. Some of us thought that whenever there's someone who has a mental disorder and developmental disability, we already refer it as autism. A very big misconception. Autism is a condition that targets the full mental development of a person terms of social communication, teach them to interact with someone differently. Person with autism has a sensory problem, specifically the listening problem, wherein the sound, what they hear, all has the same volume. That's why, when we put them in a crowded places, they act aggressively and put tantrums. A misconception with autism is that all people with autism share the same traits. They all have different strengths and challenges across the diverse range of traits.
Each of them act differently when it comes to achieving their goals. Another one is autistic people do not feel empathy. The truth is they can understand what other people feel or their emotion. However, they act and respond in a different way. They also value friendship, social rejection, and feel loneliness. When they feel that they are rejected, they avoid eye contact and spend time on their own. Regardless, we must observe first how they behave and see things from their own perspective. For people with autism act differently with each other. We must show to them that they are loved and they belong. Don't let them feel that they are rejected. For them, they cause trauma. Lastly, support them always to what their dreams in life and respect and treat them how we treated and respect ourselves.
Every individual having this condition deserves to be treated equally among our society. With that, they get the love and support they deserve. This is our effort to amplify the voices of people with intellectual and developmental differences. Amplify the voices that ask for fairness, for care, for equality, and for awareness. From pre-service teacher advocators, supporting to see by others that they are a gift but not rather considered as a burden. No matter how we are different from each other, that wouldn't be a key to discriminating against others. Hence, it would be a door to motivate and inspire others. We are all human. We only live once, but we are given a multiple chance to only focus on a good one. Then the bad things just melt away. Now, let's take a step forward to embrace diversity and look for the beauty in it. We're on the same ground. We breathe in the same air and will make it for everyone's smile. What is important to them, it matters for all, living a healthy and meaningful community life.